Jarrah White says, I expect this video to be pulled and replaced with an apology. Now kindly apologize for your baseless accusation that I'm a liar. It's not a baseless accusation, but it's my opinion that you're lying because I don't bandy about words like half-truth. You're intentionally misleading your viewers. This is the conclusion of your peer review of your work as a video documentarian. This is like me saying factually that the movie Star Trek, the recent one, was not accurately depicting space, because it wasn't. If your intention was to entertain people and not inform them, you've succeeded. This is his statements, and I'm going to be going through them and tearing them apart. First statement. The point, and this is not in the order he sent it in. I'll read the fun part later. The point of contention was that you can feed videotape into the HS-100 or HS-200 disc recorder, magnetic disc recorder from the 1960s in 30-second sections at a time. And then transfer it to a master tape after slow-moing it for some reason. That's the contention here. Collins himself acknowledged that frame-accurate edits were possible with that technology. Okay, with which technology? That or the video recorder? It's technically possible, missing all of the features we would use currently to do this. You have to prove it could be done by doing it. We'll get to your assumptions about how that's supposed to happen too next. The comment about the HS-200 rather than the 100 letting you handle material of any length from short commercials to complete programs was merely a side note. No, it wasn't. You said that, and then you said, interesting. Highly obvious implication that, oh, this one has an unlimited size. That's not an irrational statement. You were deliberately insinuating that there was a version of it that had unlimited. And, of course, you said you linked at the time to the file you got this from. Okay. But you know your viewers aren't going to go there and see that you said something that was completely wrong. Let's go on. It's not merely a side note, it was the point. And then you made another video later backpedaling that you made a point. Obviously you did. No one watching your video thought you weren't implying strongly that this could do really long recordings. Unlimited length. Interesting. The quote was, complete programs of 35 seconds instead of 30. You don't even indicate in here the actual number of seconds, do you? Maybe it was double. Maybe it was a minute. Maybe it could do variable length with crap quality, maybe. I didn't discuss the spec sheet in my video because it wasn't always specific as to whether it was referring to the HS-100 or 200, except that the back page on it, on the spec sheet, actually was much more specific, and you could have just put that up on the screen. And been explicit in your statement instead of saying it could do complete programs. Interesting. I assumed that the 30-second limit was applying only to the HS-100 because apparently as a movie maker you really truly believe that if you see two models and one of them has a limit of half a minute, the other one could possibly have a longer limit by some factor. And you, a video expert, a movie production expert, or a commercial production expert, somebody who knows how to do videos and edit things, wouldn't immediately look at the spec sheet. You're a geek that doesn't look at the spec sheet for the second model so you can actually have a valid thing to point. Or you looked at it and saw that it didn't mean anything and just said, interesting, because that was the part you wanted to push. You're lying by omission, and you're lying by implication, is my opinion, and you're a liar. You're doing this for a motivation, a very obvious one. You didn't like me pointing that out, so you're going to flag my video and flag my channels off the air. That's fine. I know that. This was discussed in your follow-up video, which I'm not going to have a link to because your intention here is to promote your channel. Whatever the material of any length statement meant is irrelevant. Obviously it's relevant because it proves you wrong. That's why you're saying it's irrelevant now. When no one was checking, it was irrelevant, except that it was the main point of your video. And now you're masking it. Did you really include a link to that PDF? Did anybody archive that? I think I'll look. Maybe I'll show the archive of the video link page and see if the description contains any links in the past. If you wanted to prove this point, you would have archived it that day. I've done that with my videos sometimes too, so that I can't backpedal. The fact that feeding 30-second buckets, as Collins put it, into a disc recorder for slow-mo playback conversion and frame-accurate recording the playback to a master tape was possible. Taking apparently over an hour, let's just call it an hour of video, feeding it in 30 seconds at a time, highly tedious behavior, into a disc recorder, recording it, stopping this one, playing this back at half speed or very close to it, feeding it into another recorder, pausing that one, doing the same thing, re-recording over it with a, what is its life expectancy when you do that with the disc recorder? You, as a movie maker, believe this is a plausible scenario at all? Yeah, possible in the 1960s. I like how you're rounding off numbers here. The 1960s? Do you specify in the video when that piece of equipment was produced? Do you specify any of these details? This is like me saying it's technically possible to load rocket fuel into a bicycle and have it not kill me and put me down the road at Mach 1. That's technically possible, but really all it means is the wheels and I are mutated into a mass and rolling down the road, and I'm not technically dead until I hit the tree. Collins knows that, I know that, you know that. And this is an entirely rational scenario because you want it to be video, because you can't get past it. I know, okay, I'm going to do this. I know how to fake the moon landing. I've told people this before. I know how to fake the moon landing at frame rate. You don't. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. You're the one making the assertion. And now we're going to get this one. If you want me to do a shot-for-shot remake of the Apollo missions, I didn't say that. I said I want you to do a fake of it that would prove your point. But of course, we have to go for broke so that you can claim you're broke. Using the slow-mo camera technology available at the time, it's not a slow-mo camera, it's a slow-mo recording, and it's a normal speed recording that can slow down. You're deliberately, even here, screwing with it. By all means, feel free to supply the technology and I'll shoot for you. Jarrah White has a bunch of GoFundMe page and give me money things so I can go fly in space things. He literally is asking for money for that and other things if you want to look at his channel. No, you can. You can go look at what else he wants funding for. I'm not kidding. This is just absolutely disgusting. The Instar camera will probably set you back in excess of $1,000 plus shipping. I've seen one fetch that price, and the Boyk reels for it will probably set you back anywhere from maybe $60 to $250 a piece. As for the props, I've seen the group Space Toys sell an accurate life-size replica of the Apollo lunar module for around $89,000. And that's just the LM. If the replica astronauts are blah blah blah, etc. ad nauseum. I'd hate to think what an obsolete A7L or A7LB suit would cost. Then, of course, you, me, all of us, need to buy or rent out a large enough warehouse or hangar to store it along with all the sand and props and equipment and so forth. You want me to remake the moon landings? By all means, provide me with the technology and pay you money to do it. So now that we know what your actual real goal here is, you know, like solar freaking roadways, you want money. It'll save you the trouble of saving up for obsolete technology. You said it was the money you were getting was to go to the moon or Mars or something, go into space, send Jarrah White to space. I can think of a way of doing that much cheaper, but it involves ballistic trajectory. Do you understand that this absolutely bare-knuckled greed and pushing the burden of proof on everybody else but yourself is so damn obvious? Obviously you're trolling. You're doing this to just get attention. Flat Earth agenda. The only people I see denying the Earth landing have some strong motivation for it. They either claim that you can't go into space, or that it's a flat Earth, or in your case, like I said in the video, I don't really know. I suspect it's money. So yeah, you posted a video about how the flat Earth agenda kicked you off, and you told space travel deniers to screw off, and you want to go into space. My goal is to get people on the moon for real. And I've been viciously attacked by idiots who think all space travel is impossible. Yeah, I know the feeling. I get attacked by people who think that they can get me to pay for their freaking proof. I'm not going to pay for a Bedford-level experiment. I'm not going to pay to send an independent version of a telescope into space when it's not needed to find Nibiru. And I'm not, nor should anybody else pay for you to do a proof. You're claiming this was done. You just have to show, without hiding anything, how to fake the moon landing with that equipment at the time. And the thing is, you're the one concentrating on it having to be video for some blasted reason. Okay. It would be a lot easier to do it another way, and again, I'm not going to explain how to do it. Why the hell would I explain to you how to do a faked moon landing with an apparent gravity change of around 2 to 1 that can be done in a completely different way? I'm going to jokingly provide an interesting answer. Next, he says, I didn't quote Collins out of context. He said that the disc recorder option was possible for Apollo 11. I quoted him on that. He also misquoted some other things, and when that was pointed out in video, when he posted his own direct quote and showed you quoting him wrong, you're just claiming you didn't take him out of context. No, you misquoted him. That's different, I guess. The Instar system could be both black and white and color high-speed video. This is pseudo-correct. There's a way of forcing any video recorder that's black and white into raw analog signal record. This means that you're going to have to sit there and decode it at the end, but it makes the recorder record without synchronizing the recording. You can only do that on recorders that do not do a synchronization top and bottom thing, like swiping across the tape as it goes by this way 30 times a second. You can only do that on a recording that just records straight at high speed or has multiple tracks chopping up the video. Really. You can do it on the other kind, but it's just like our VCRs. You're going to have errors. You're really behind the curve. For your information, I've already debunked him. You know, you didn't debunk him. I know you took more out of... Your behavior is to take things out of context. Your behavior is to misquote people. And then when you get called on stuff, you just make another video and get more views. Alright? I'm calling you on the fact that you're trying to weasel your way into getting more money. How about this? The money goes to some independent charity, just totally unrelated to you, and they agree to help you. Like, let's say, a film school. You know, you've gone to film school and you've gone ahead and learned all this, sort of like S.T. Collins has all this experience. You've learned all this stuff, right? But you keep saying things that are demonstratively untrue about basic reality. Okay, I'm going to tell everybody how to fake the moon landing. And it ties in with another conspiracy theory. There's another way to fake gravity at 1/2 the level, or at least acceleration rate, which is the equivalent to gravity. Have extremely tall people in moon suits. Yeah, the annunaki. Or you can just get a Oregon Wookiee. The other way to fake this would be to actually use puppets. Yes, Jarrah, I'm giving you a bone here. You're getting boned. You never thought that just making the scale bigger? Please look up all the movies where they change scale for things to make gravity change. It's also the reason big explosions are changed by changing the speed of the camera. Now, I already know you're going to flag the crap out of both my channels at this point. So this is a basic, straightforward, go to hell. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.